Hi, I'm Councilmember Angel Encinas, and welcome to Professionals on the Rise. The city of Chandler is a progressive city known as a community of innovation. It is also regarded as one of the most financially stable cities in the United States. In fact, the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry named Chandler the best city for business in 2022. That is why many young entrepreneurs launch a business or expand their location options here in Chandler. I want to share these stories of entrepreneurship with you to inspire future entrepreneurs and to shed a light on what it's like to operate a business here in Chandler. So today, one of my first guests here is Mr. Kyle Hess, one of the co-owners of the Sugar Bar on Warner and McQueen Road. Kyle, thank you so much for being here with us today. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me in.
Good, good. Very happy to have you here as one of my first guests. Let's just get right into it on
Yeah.
your business here. Tell us about the Sugar Bar and what inspired you guys to open a bar and candy shop combo.
Yeah. So, like you said, it's a candy store with we've got probably 100 plus different types of candy in there that you can snack on, and then it's mostly a craft beer tap room. So we've got 31 rotating craft beer, cider, and seltzer taps, and then we've also got like 250 different beers in the fridge as well, with a ton of variety. Probably 18 different wines, a couple frozen drinks. We try to have something for everybody. So that was really what kind of inspired the concept behind it, is we wanted somewhere that was more of like a neighborhood hangout that everybody could go to. A lot of bars and other tap rooms can be geared towards like an older clientele, obviously 21 and up, but we wanted some place that families could come and hang out. So that's where we have the candy for the kids, the drinks for the parents. There's something for everybody. We also have board games, table games, different things like that to help keep the kids entertained, and just trying to create a place where the community can come together and hang out.
I love that you guys, you have entertainment for everybody, for the kids, the parents. You guys have a variety of tastes for everybody as well.
Yeah.
So you guys are meeting all those checkpoints. And this is something that is very new. I've never heard of a candy and bar combination. So it's a great concept.
Thank you.
So why did you guys choose to open a business here in Chandler instead of any other surrounding cities?
Yeah, so my wife and I grew up in Chandler. We've both been here since we were 2. Both went to Chandler High. We haven't moved very far. We still live right by Chandler High and right by downtown. So when we were looking to open up our business, we knew 100% it had to be in Chandler. We also just love the area, the community, the people. Like you mentioned in your intro, how progressive it is. And just, we thought it was a great growing area. And we saw a niche and a need for the type of place that we wanted to provide. So all those factors kind of went into making that decision to keep our business in Chandler.
That is great. You guys are residents here. You guys are alumni of Chandler High School. Go Wolves, class of 2008. So it's great to have you guys here still investing into your own community, giving back to your community. So that's great. We're happy to have you guys here. Through this process of starting your business, how does your business look different from when you guys started to where you guys are now? I believe you guys have been open for almost a year and a half now, correct?
Yeah, just over a year and a half. It definitely looks a lot different from when we opened. Physically, even the bar itself looks different. We've added some fridges. We've added a lot of interior changes to the bar as well, just kind of growing as we needed. And then from just as far as running the bar itself, my wife and I were the only 2 employees to start the business for the first 4 months. So it was open to close every day, just me and her. And now I think we've got 7 bartenders on staff that rotate through. So that's probably the biggest change, is just having brought in other people outside of the original business core, and integrating them into the business and finding good fits there. So I think that's the biggest change.
Great. It's definitely a process. It is such a huge risk in starting your own business and jumping into all that. I know that myself as a business owner. What would you say is one of the biggest experiences or learning experiences that you've learned so far from opening your own business?
Yeah, I think for me, it's mostly been just trying to manage the ups and downs of it. It would be nice if everything ran perfect and we were full every day and didn't have to worry about, budget or anything like that. But the reality of it is, for our particular industry, we're going to have slow days, we're going to have busy days. And so just dealing with those highs and those lows in a more level manner and not getting too overstrung on. I was stressing a lot during the first
Yeah.
4 or 5 months of the business, and now I've learned to kind of just take a deep breath whenever things don't go how I would like them to, and just adjust on the fly. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have your ups and downs, especially you guys are a new business and stuff. You're going to figure out when are you guys' high seasons, your low seasons,
Yeah.
what is your customer target base, and all that. So you're going to evolve and get to know that even more and be able to offer even a better experience to your customers.
Definitely, yeah.
Speaking of that, what has been your interaction or your experience working with the city of Chandler, getting started, and either whether it's groundbreaking, getting permits or anything like that? What has your experience been with the city?
Yeah, it's been really good. So obviously with our industry, getting the liquor license permitting, getting the construction permit, and just going through all that initial paperwork, especially with this being my wife and I's first business, and our first business in this industry, we were learning a lot on the fly. But thankfully, it was never too hard to get a hold of anybody here. It was always, if we had any questions, people were more than willing to help out. So that is always very welcome when you're new to something and you're still learning. So I thought that was awesome. And then just as far as like the support of the city, it's been great. We had the chamber out for our grand opening. We did our ribbon cutting, and it's really awesome. It drew in a big crowd, and we love the support we've gotten.
That's great to hear. I know the city of Chandler is more than welcoming to new businesses and helping you guys establish that, bring in a guide and basically a checklist of everything you need to do. And you already mentioned the Chamber of Commerce. They're huge pro-business, obviously. They want to help and support you guys as much as possible. I'm glad they were able to do your guys' grand opening there. So tell us, what is one of the best pieces of advice that you received as far as opening a business, or even it can be on the side of your industry? What's the best piece of advice?
I think it kind of ties back into what I said before, is just what I've learned. It's mostly just trying to stay level-headed and just not get too high, too low with everything going on, and just trying to stay organized too. That's the biggest thing, because there's a million different things and aspects of the businesses that people probably don't see. And so just as far as like renewing permits and licenses every year, and all the stock and inventory stuff we have to do in the back end, all the marketing, website. I mean, there's dozens and dozens of different aspects of the business that just my wife and I are handling. And so just staying organized and staying on top of that, I think has been the biggest key for us so far.
Good. It's a total learning process, but I feel like you guys are doing it very well and handling it very well. So that's
Thank you.
great. Congratulations. And how do you guys balance your personal life and running a business? You guys threw yourselves into this. As you said, when you first opened the business, you guys were there every single day.
Yeah.
Now it's been a little bit more easier with some staff and stuff helping with you guys to get some balance there. But how has that been? How do you guys take that? I know you guys have a young son, Mr. Zeke, in the mix with you guys. So how has all that worked out together?
It was really tough at first, like I said, when we were spending majority of our days at the bar. Luckily, we've had a lot of family support, so that definitely helps. A lot of family and friends have helped out. And so I think the biggest thing in trying to balance it out is just making sure you still make time for the people who are important in your life, and just making sure that what little downtime you have, you spend with them, and really take advantage of that. Like you said, Zeke's starting sports now, so just making sure that regardless of what's going on in the business, if I can be there for him for those, and kind of schedule myself around that, that's what I try to do, because I definitely want to be there. Family will always come first over the business, regardless of anything going on.
I'm right there with you. Family first and then business second.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a break. We're going to get right into it and jump. We're going to take a visit to the Sugar Bar, give us a little tour, see what type of products you guys have to offer, and let's have some fun out. It's Sugar Bar.
Sounds great.
Welcome everybody. We are at the Sugar Bar. Very excited to be here. Kyle is going to give us a rundown of some of their signature popular drinks. So Kyle, I'm going to go ahead and let you do your thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, man. So first we're going to start off with the ice cream and beer pairing of the month that we're featuring right now, which is a creamsicle beer with an actual creamsicle on top. But we like to spice it up a little bit here. So what we're going to do first is going to throw a little bit of chamoy and tajin on the rim, give a little bit of spice to go with all that sweetness. And so this is actually from a local brewery up in Lake Havasu called College Street. And the beer is literally designed to taste just like a creamsicle. Nice and refreshing. There's that. And we'll throw this on top. And a little bit of extra chamoy and tajin because you can never have too much. And boom, you're all set.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, one for you guys too. We're gonna do a chocolate peanut butter milk stout. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put Hershey's chocolate rim with a marzipan candy on there. So a little chocolate peanut butter action. And so this one's actually gonna be from an out-of-state brewery all the way over in San Diego. We get beers from all over the country, but we try to keep a good portion of it local so we can help out the Arizona breweries. And then we'll always just garnish it with a little chocolate on the side too. And there's that one for you. We also like to do beer and candy pairings here, so that's been pretty popular since we opened. So I'm gonna pour out a few beers and I'll tell you about them. So we've got 31 on tap, and then we've got 250 in the fridges.
So that way people can come taste, figure out what their favorite is.
Yeah, this is a good way for people to try a bunch of beer without having to commit, especially because we carry a lot of stuff that isn't super mainstream, you know, that people might not have heard of or tried before. So we always like to give them the smaller pours. And so what we have here is a green apple seltzer from Richter Ale Works up in Phoenix. This is going to be a peach Berliner Weiss sour, and then this one's going to be a white chocolate raspberry truffle cheesecake smoothie sour. And so for these, we kind of just like to have fun with it. There's not really an exact science. We try to pair things that seem like they'd be good with it, you know. For the green apple, I always like to do everyone's favorite and classic little caramel apple on there. And then for the peach, I actually have, because that's kind of a sweeter drink, spicy peach rings. And then for the white chocolate raspberry truffle, we'll throw some raspberry puffs on there and just go all in on the sweetness. And then, so there's that beer and candy flight for you.
Wow, look at that. Talk about craft beers combination with those candies. You guys have a great mix, and I love the creativeness of all this. So
yeah.
I love the idea, the concept, so it's great.
It's not quite an exact science like wine and cheese pairings or something like that. It's just, if it sounds good, we're gonna try it.
As long as you're having fun, that's great.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kyle, so much for having us here
Absolutely.
today at the Sugar Bar. You guys, we're going to see you right back in the studio. Welcome back. We had such a great time pairing those sweet treats with those craft beers and getting a better inside look at the Sugar Bar. So Kyle, you are under the age of 40. What does it mean to have this kind of success in your industry and as an entrepreneur?
Honestly, it means a lot to me. I'm really just grateful for all the support I've gotten from the community. It's nerve-wracking, honestly, going into business for yourself and investing a lot of time and money and energy and effort into something that you're not entirely sure it's going to work out. You know, you're confident and you think so, but you know, I was super nervous when we opened those doors. So to have a semi-established business, you know, it's only been a year and a half, but just to have something that's at least lasted that long and is doing pretty well, it just, it means a lot to me and my family. So it's been great.
No, definitely. It takes a lot to have a dream, an idea, and then for it to become reality, and then you're just living in it. It's just great. It's just great to see that full cycle of it. And hopefully you guys continue to be successful and keep it going and, you know, serve up some great business here in Chandler.
Yeah.
So at your location, what is your favorite combo? What's your favorite go-to beer, tap, favorite candy? What is your favorite there?
Recently, we actually just did a full pairing of beers and candies where the beers that we were serving actually had the candies in them. So we had some beers that were made with Pink Starburst, Sour Patch Kids, Skittles, I mean, you name it. And so we had started seeing those kind of beers out there, and that's actually what kind of also helped us think that this could be a good idea and be successful, is the fact that saw a lot of breweries integrating candy into beers in a fun way. And I would say anything that's just super different and out of the ordinary is something that I like. And the weirder, the better.
Yeah, it definitely getting creative with that. You see so many things on social media, on Instagram, on TikTok, and people creating these great drinks, but it actually drives out people. It makes people like, hey, I want to go try that interesting drink or what they're doing here in that combination. So
Yeah.
it's great that you guys are still open to be able to do, you guys have so many combinations to create whatever you basically want. That's great. Let's get back into this great discussion of entrepreneurship here in Chandler. What qualities do you believe makes a great entrepreneur or business owner?
Definitely just a lot of drive, man. I mean, you gotta be willing to put in long hours and long days. One of my favorite sayings is, I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore, so I started my own job, and now I work
100%.
24 hours a day. So
Yes.
um, I would just be ready to, maybe sacrifice some things that you normally are used to. Definitely, at least for the first few years of your business when you're getting everything going.
Great. That definitely leads right into my next question. What type
Mhm.
of advice would you give someone who's looking to open up their own business? It does take a lot of time, that dedication. Any other little pieces of nuggets of wisdom that you can hand off to the next person looking to start their business idea?
Something that's helped us a lot is just leaning on a lot of members of the industry. Luckily, in this industry, everybody's pretty open and super nice. Even from other tap rooms and our quote unquote competitors. It really feels more like an industry that where everybody's supporting each other. So if you have people in your industry that are willing to give you advice or lend a helping hand, people who have had experiences where you haven't, be open to listening to them, and don't be a know-it-all. Essentially, just be open to learning new things.
Okay. And I
Mhm.
know you touched a little bit on this before, but how can entrepreneurs best prioritize themselves, setting themselves up for this type of success as well?
Honestly, just being organized, man, as much as you can. Otherwise, you get scatterbrained. Especially myself. I'm naturally like that. So, um, I would just say, man, just it sucks to have to put everything into a calendar and chart out your day to by the hour, but it'll keep you sane, and it'll make sure that things don't slip through the cracks. So just making sure you have some sort of system that works for you to keep track of everything that you've got to do with the business. Because I wish it was just showing up and pouring beers, but unfortunately, there's a lot more
Yeah.
behind the scenes to it than that.
Definitely.
So,
Oh, I know what you mean. These days, I live and breathe through my calendar
yep.
and how it runs my life. So I totally understand that. So what is next for you guys? What is the future? Do we have future plans going on, or do we have any, whether it may be expansion or new products or anything? What's next?
Yeah, mostly right now, just trying to expand some of the offerings in the bar itself. So we have been pretty heavily craft beer focused, which has been great. But we do get a lot of wine drinkers in, so we want to expand that portion of our business. And I think once we get everything figured out and more efficient and running proficiently for the business, expansion would be fun. I would love to be able to open up a second location and see how it does in a different area. There's the great thing is there's plenty of opportunity still in Chandler itself because it's such a big city and it's still growing. Um, there's still kind of a need for a niche like this. So I think it would be exciting to try and do round two and see what we could come up with.
That would be great. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Kyle. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Great, great. So Chandler has a very dynamic business community designed for entrepreneurs, startups, and even expansion. Year after year, small and large businesses, along with thousands of residents, decide to make Chandler their home and be part of this vibrant community. Thank you guys, Chandler, for being with us today. Until next time, this is Professionals on the Rise.